The CJ Howard Show. Now let's go to CJ Howard. Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to another episode of the CJ Howard Show. I'm CJ Howard with you for episode number 5 on this Sunday evening, rainy Sunday evening, as we're going through the weather. Outside, it is raining here in Barville. I don't know if it's raining in Corey's area. We'll talk when we talk with him in just a moment. We'll ask him. We're live tonight on the Facebook. We're also live on YouTube as we get set for what should be another good show. We've got a really great group of guests. First, we're going to have Kyle Maggard at 8:15. Kyle is a wrestler for AMW Wrestling, and we're going to talk to him about a big show coming up on Saturday, September 11th at Breathitt County High School. Go Rush, and we're going to also talk about another show going to be happening on September 18th. It's going to be a live show for the people of the Black Gold Festival. So we'll talk with Kyle about that and some other wrestling or wrestling things. We're also going to have Anthony Hampton with us from Shelby Valley. Then we're going to have one of only 2 400-win coaches in football here in high school. Then it will be Dudley Hilton. We'll have him at 9. And then Courtney Brewer is going to join us, the 3rd member of the WYMT sports staff. She is the other rookie to come on. We're going to talk with her at 9:30. Back with me, he was supposed to have been with me 2 weeks ago, and there was a family conflict had come up. So I asked him what he come and do tonight, and he was gracious, always always ready to do the show. But now he is an assistant coach at Perry Central, and we'll get into more on that in just a little bit. But with me tonight, Corey Hoskins. Corey, it's great to have you with us.
CJ, I'm glad to be on here. You know, I always love to get on here and talk sports with you, and I'm looking forward to a great show.
Should be a great show. We got a lot of good guests. We want your phone call. 1-346-314-0906. That's the phone number if you want to talk to us. Corey, first of all, I was going to ask you about the weather over there because it's raining here in Barberville. Is it raining in Perry County?
It is. I was up in Hazard a few minutes ago, had to attend a visitation, and it's rained pretty much all evening here.
I think it's rained pretty much all evening here too. I was preparing for the show. I come out for a little while and was saw that it rained pretty hard there one segment, and it's amazing. Well, Corey, you've had you had an interesting summer. Tell everybody just a little bit of what went on with you, because if people that be keeping up with you, they might want to know what's been going on.
Well, as most people know, I resigned at Buckhorn in May to take the job at Owsley County. Took that job and went in. I think I was there for a couple weeks. And some things just didn't really play out the way that I had expected them to. And I ended up coming back to Perry County and, really just looking to find a job. And I ended up, not going back to Buckhorn. Of course, I'd resigned there, and I landed on Perry County Central staff, and Coach Hoskins, Shannon, was, gracious enough to give me a spot, and I'm looking forward to working with him, and all those other guys that we've got a really good staff put together, and I think we're going to have a pretty good team. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity.
Shannon's got everybody back. I think he actually had 2 of his seniors do that repeat grade thing. So he's got back his team from last year. Being even though that you do know these kids because you played against them, coaching them, is it a little bit different?
Well, it took a little bit, but, we put together, even when I was still at Buckhorn, we put together an AAU team and had some kids from Buckhorn and some kids from Perry and a kid from Wolfe County and Estill County and went and played really all over the southeastern part of the United States this spring. So I kind of got to know them a little bit through that. And then, of course, coached them this summer. It was a little bit of an adjustment because you're used to competing against them. But, they're great kids, and I've really enjoyed so far getting to coach and getting to work with those kids.
Shannon's got a good staff. You're on it now. Corey Martin, I think he's still on it. And, I forget that one guy's name, the black-headed guy. Is it Mitch?
Mitch.
Yeah, Mitch. Yeah,
Corey actually took a job in Paintsville.
Okay.
And he helped this summer, but he's not with us right now. And then, of course, Mitch Smith and Daniel Combs.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Daniel. I forgot about him. Daniel been helping a whole lot there towards last year. I know that sports has changed a lot. College, high school. We can just look at. We're sort of different items, but we got name and image and likeness going on in college football right now. People making tons of money. I thought week one of the college football was awesome yesterday. Kentucky, I want to talk about them just a second. That was an impressive win yesterday, 45-10 over Louisiana Monroe. Yep. I was listening to Matt Jones after the game. They have a call-in show that you could hear on WSGS after every Kentucky game. And a lot of people were trying to figure, Levis, I can't say his name. I don't know why I can't. But we're trying to find out what the last quarterback that throwed for more than 400 yards or close to 400. And a lot of people said Andre Woodson was, but then a lot of people said Tim Couch. Now, I know Tim did it several times, but I remember Andre Woodson. But was there anybody before them two? Because I think yesterday was probably one of the most awesome outputs by a Kentucky quarterback in a long time.
He put on a show yesterday for sure. I'm not sure if there was anybody before that did that.
I know Andre Woodson had one 400-yard game. I'm not for sure. I think it was against South Carolina. We got a phone call. Let's go get that, and then we'll come back. Go ahead, Ryan. You're on the CJ Harris Show. We are doing well on this Sunday. How are you doing?
How's your family doing?
Everybody is doing well. The wife has been busy today. She's been doing some work to get caught up at work. Also, Poppy has been resting. We just got back from church. So they're taking care of themselves.
My question is for your opinion about the future with this transfer portal pertaining to high school and college sports. Just put time in together. What do you think is going ahead? What it'll be like in the future? You see any damage or positive, or in your opinion, just your opinion?
Well, first of all, there's no high school transfer portal. It's just college.
Maybe, but still.
Well, you're right, Ryan. It could happen someday. I doubt it. My opinion is it's a good thing, I guess, if you don't want to stay there. But, you're seeing it too much. I think they need to make a few restrictions to it. I don't know what Corey thinks, but they need to put just a restriction or two. I think you should be able to do it during the season. I think you should wait till after the season. But what do you think about it, Corey?
I agree. The transfer thing is kind of a touchy subject sometimes. Especially in college, I feel like a lot of times there's situations where coach maybe gets fired and he recruited that player where they may need a transfer, or You might just. But I'm like you. I don't think next season. I think it should be after the season.
I mean, Ryan, that's a good question because, of course, the quarterback that left Kentucky is now at USC, and it's going to be hard for him to get on the field because I watched the UFC play Boise State the other night, and now that quarterback was pretty damn good. So I don't know how he's going to get on the field.
Well, you agree with if there's 4 and 5 stars in front of you, I mean, what? You put yourself in a hard predicament, though, ain't you?
Yeah, so you do, and I think this is what some of these kids are not thinking about when they do it. Yesterday you saw Bo Allen get in the game, and he looked pretty good. I think Bo Allen can start for about any SEC, most of the SEC teams in the right now, because Bo Allen's a very good athlete. But when you got a quarterback in front of like Levis, I mean, it's hard to get on the field.
Yes, how you doing, Corey?
I'm doing good. How about you, my buddy?
I'm doing well. Thank you, CJ. Y'all have a good night.
All right. Thank you, Ryan Farmer, our faithful caller, always giving us here on the CJ Harris Show. Mark, there's my boy. Mark, I had not seen Mark Crawford the last 2 weeks on the show. I think he's been a little busy. He had been with his sons, and I think a couple of his sons lived some different places, so he's been in and out. But I'm glad to have Mark back here. Corey, we was talking about Kentucky's effort yesterday. The numbers that he put up: 18 to 26, 367 yards, and 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. The interception really wasn't his fault. The receiver just let it bounce off his pad. Bo Allen was 4 of 7, 52 yards. But I thought the receivers were so impressive. 4 of them I jotted some notes down on. Josh Ali, 5 catches, 136, a touchdown. Rondell Robinson, 5 catches, 125, 2 touchdowns. Isaiah Epps, 3 catches, 83 yards. And Brandon Bates, who scored the other touchdown in the air, he had 1 catch for 4 yards. But Kentucky's passing game wasn't the story. The story was, and it probably wasn't even the Kentucky rush for over about 200 yards too. Their defense, I think, allowed only 42 total yards. That is impressive.
It was. I think it was just they had a total package going yesterday. Like you said, defense was unbelievable, and then you put those passing yards, and then throw in 200 and some yards rushing. I mean, that's the total package right there for a college football game. I was really impressed yesterday. I'm interested to see, how the Cats can do in some SEC games. But that's an FBS team. It's not, you're not playing a division or what they call it now, FCS. You're not.
Yeah.
Still, but I'd like to see how they do against the SEC. But I'm really excited for the football team this year.
Well, I need to make a correction. Mark has 1 son, and he's been with him a little bit. So sorry there, Mark. I got off track, but wanted to correct that. But you're right. Missouri yesterday won by 10, and you can't go by a lot because Missouri and Kentucky have really got a rivalry going, and it's going to be hot. It's going to be some hostile action going on there at Commonwealth Stadium because it's going to be a crazy night. 7:30 night. When night games at Commonwealth Stadium, they're off the charts. They're one of the best entertainment you can ever be a part of.
Yep. I think they're going to have a good year. I'm like I said, I'm excited to see it. I always enjoy when Kentucky's got a good football team, and like you said, going down to Commonwealth, watching them play, and it's a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, me and the wife's been a couple of times. I would like to go back. it's an opportunity. Wife has returned home. Hello, wife. How you doing? She's been busy today, putting a very good day of working for her. So I'm proud of her. But to go to a night game at Commonwealth Stadium, me and the wife been to 2 night games and 1 day game. And so they're a lot of fun. Also, right now, the coronavirus just ripping everybody apart. I mean, you can't step outside without somebody getting it. One thing I do want to do, I posted earlier, we need to have prayers for Jim Matney, the Johnson Central football coach. He's needs some prayers for you, really does. And if you get a moment and you can get a prayer out, please do so. He's an outstanding guy, one of the best coaches in the mountains, and not just the mountains, in the state. Mm-hmm. But take a second and give him a prayer. He needs it. And I want to thank Camille for updating me on that, because she's been keeping me up to date on that. So, but we'll pray for everybody attack coronavirus. We also want to pray for everybody we've lost, because this virus, Corey, is nothing to fool with.
No, certainly not. It's crazy right now, especially. I think right now it's probably worse it's been.
I don't understand. I mean, it's worse now than it was last year in 2020. We could have probably done a lot more. I believe we could have got by without shutting stuff down. And do you agree? Because, I mean, the numbers, we were only having 700, 800, 600 last year. Now we're getting 5,400, 5,900. And it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, I think right now is, like I said, it's the worst. My wife works in healthcare, and she sees it every day. So it right now is the worst that it's been, I believe, since all this started. And like you said, there is some restrictions right now, but nothing like it was before. And maybe we're trying to get to a point where we're getting past that, but I just don't know when that point is. It's hard to say right now.
I will think the booster will help when they get it. But and also the people that are not vaccinated, we got to get them vaccinated. I know it's hard. I understand, but we got to get the people that are not vaccinated. We got to get them vaccinated, because it's going to cut down on the cases. It's going to cut down people get sick. And we just got to find a way to do that. But, it's right now it's running rampant. I know Tuesday they're going to have a special session of the General Assembly. The governor wants to talk to them about putting some orders in, maybe, and we'll see how that goes. So that'll be Tuesday. Special session, so everybody will be watching to see what goes on. Week 2 of the high school football season, week 3 of the high school football season is in the books. Corey, we had an interesting week. Not a lot of close games. I don't think we had probably 2 or 3 at the most. Every game that you saw was a blowout. But I think the one game that surprised me the most was the Corbin game. I thought the Corbin Franklin County game would be a lot more closer than that, but Corbin has dominated them.
Corbin, I've not seen their roster or anything, but from everything that I can gather on Corbin, they're supposed to have a really good football team again this year. Coach Greer's done a good job over there, kind of picked up where Coach Haddock's left off and keeping that team rolling every year.
We talked about how you can we had Coach Greer on here the other day, the show last week, and we talked about how it was important to get off to a good start. And he was worried about that running back, and they did a really good job with him. They held him, I think, to less than 50 yards. So it was a big win for Corbin. And I think Pikeville made a statement. And I think Letcher Central doesn't need to get their head down. I mean, it's nothing. It's not bad. It's not embarrassing to get beat by Pikeville 48-7. But you just got to learn from it. I think Letcher knows they've got some good talent. They got a lot more football to play. One game shouldn't determine how your team or season is going to go. I've seen it in football more than basketball. One game usually tears up a team or makes their season. Basketball, I always think end of the year is where people start. If they're not playing good, they lose their focus and are not as confident. I mean, you've been a basketball coach, you know this, so that's wild. Some of the scores from last week, and we'll go over a few of these, but when Courtney gets on here, we're going to really go over with her. But Williamsburg beat Lexington County 62-14. Corbin beat Franklin County 27-20. Pikeville beat Letcher 48-7. It was Southwestern 62, Simon Kenton 33. Boyle County 60, Pulaski County 29. Beechwood 49, Somerset nothing. Somerset's got that young group of kids right now, and learning that all the success they had the last 3 or 4 years, they have to rebuild, and it's hard to. They'll get back in there, but it's going to take them a while. Shelby Valley 16, Floyd Central 14, Lawrence County 34, Greenup County 7, Whitley County 42, Harlan 16. That was sort of a surprise because I thought Harlan was a lot better team. They did a home and got whipped like that on home. McGoffin County 38, Knox County 32. That's upset. Clay County 40, Lincoln's nothing. Fleming County 46, Martin County 53. That was a shootout. Jenkins played their first game in 3 years, first home game in 5 years. They lost though to Harlem 30-0, and only one other game. Pineville beat Cumberland Gap, Virginia or Tennessee, 55-50. So, interesting indeed. Supposed to have Kyle on, but I do not see him right now. So at 8:30, we're going to have Coach Anthony Hampton from Shelby Valley. I know Corey's learned this lesson as everybody else. When I send your invitation to you, I like for you to practice because sometimes if you don't go, if you try to do it right before the show, it gives you a hard time. So, but if you've done it before, usually you can go right back in there and it have some problems. Week 4, Corey, we got some pretty good games on the schedule coming up. Let's look at that a little bit. We got Prairie Central. They were off this week. They had open date. Supposed to play Breathitt. Now we're going to see if Breathitt plays. Now they didn't play Hazard because they had coronavirus. They were all in quarantine, so we'll have to wait and see if that game is played. Hazard is supposed to go to Letcher. Floyd Central is going to be at Leslie County. That is homecoming for Leslie County. Johnson Central was supposed to play. I can't pronounce this. I'm going to do my best. Chickahoe, Illinois. Somebody can correct me if I didn't say it right. Corbin's at Pulaski County. North Laurel's at Shelby Valley. Lincamp's at Middlesboro. Belfry's at Central. That's in Louisville. Paintsville's at Somerset. A pair of 0-2 Paintsville and 0-3 Somerset. Somebody's going to get their first win. Russell at Lawrence County. That's a Thursday night game. Lincoln County at Bell. That's in the Tim Short Auto Group Pride of the Mountain Bowl there at Bell County. Pike Central at Clay County. That game is probably going to be at Union College. I'll have to check and see. Knox Central at Harlan County. That's in the First Priority Bowl. Eastridge at Harlan. Jenkins at Betsy Layne. Martin County at Knox County Central. Powell County at Prestonsburg. Pineville at McCreary Central. Shawnee at Jackson County and the Kroger Hometown Classic. Estill County at Dayton, Phelps at Hurley, Virginia, South Laurel at Madison Central, Fairview at Morgan County, and LaRue at Rockcastle County. Now, I'll be honest, half these games will probably be canceled because of coronavirus. So you'll have to check the KHSAA and find out.
I think it changes every day, CJ.
Oh, Lord. Every night. I go to bed, wake up, and it's changed. So there'll be five new games in the COVID blocks that was not played. Statewide this week coming up, we've got about 4 games that are pretty good. Highlands is going to be playing Bishop out of Cincinnati. Frederick Douglass and Dunbar is going to get together. Lexington Catholic is going to be at PRP. And Lexington Christian is going to be at Christian Academy out of Louisville. And we'll tell my wife to be very careful. We're going to get Kyle on here. Kyle has been a busy man lately, and we're going to get him on here. This is Kyle. He is a wrestler for AMW Wrestling. And Kyle, welcome to the show.
It's good to be on. It took me a minute to figure out how to get on your little live stream, but I've worked through all the kinks. First thing I see is Corey's big face, and I just want to go back to sleep.
I always tell people that they should test it out before they come on here because to see what they need to do. But I figured you'd figure it out. You're a smart man.
Oh, it's kind of like dating a girl before you just go ahead and marry her.
Oh, Lordy. Kyle, you have been a busy man lately. You've been wrestling all over.
Let me go back on that, CJ. Remember, why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? But anyway,
okay.
Busy man. Busy
Be
man.
careful, baby. Yeah, that's I guess the true statement by some is untrue not to others.
Well, my wife's in the other room. I've got the door shut and locked, so I can make that statement all day long.
So yeah, she won't find out about it. She may not watch. So.
Oh no, she's a watcher. Everybody's a watcher of the CJ.
Well, I hope so.
Everybody watches. Everybody does.
Oh, I hope so. I love doing the show. First of all, I want to talk about your website. I screwed this up bad when I was helping them out a couple weeks ago. AMWWrestling.net. AMWWrestlingNetwork.com.
Hey, you got it right.
I've been practicing.
Okay, yeah. AMW Wrestling Network, our streaming website.
Yeah, but we're going to tell everybody about it because we want people to go there. We want people to be a part of this.
Oh yeah,
somehow they can be.
Go there. I mean, that's it's in this day and age. Seems like everybody's doing a streaming service, so why not us, right? All of our big events are on there. We started this promotion 5 years ago now. Actually, what is today? The 5th?
Mm-hmm.
Today, the 5th. So in 3 days, you'll have a 5-year anniversary. So,
cool.
Yeah. But no, all of our big events are on there. Like the Summer Batch event that we just did in Whitaker Athletic Center there in Jeff. The Gold Rush event that's next Saturday in Jackson. It'll be up about a week after it's over. And yes, we expect everybody to come watch it live. That's why we're not doing it as a live pay-per-view. So you're going to have to come to Jackson or wait a week to watch it. We also work with other promotions from around the world. Yes, I said world because they've got videos on there as well. Promotions in London, England, and Japan, and Mexico, and just to name a few places. But all that great content's on there. And guess what? If you've not signed up, you get a 30-day free trial. So if you don't like it, you can cancel. It won't cost you anything. But if you do like it, it only costs you $4.99 a month. And that's cheaper than a value meal. So at any value meal, it really is. Hell, you can't go to freaking McDonald's and eat for one person and not cost you $10.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
And if you're Corey, you're out $30 just eating for yourself.
I hear you. You're gonna say you'd know about the price of the value meal, wouldn't you?
Well, hell, I cook my own food now.
I've been on there. I've watched it before. It's very entertaining. There's a lot of good content on there. So I say anybody go out there, do it. It's worth it. You can see every episode of television that's on there, from the first show they ever did to the last TV episode that we just did this past Wednesday. But that again, that's www.amwwrestlingnetwork.com. And again, 30-day free trial. If you like it, $4.99 a month. If not, then you got 30 days, and then you can cancel. As Kyle mentioned, this coming Saturday night, 9/11, 7 o'clock at Jackson, AMW Gold Rush. I will be there. I will be helping. It's going to be a good night of wrestling. We've got championships galore. Every belt in AMW is on the line, plus wrestling belts from 4 other federations. Promotion.
We don't say federations. Promotions.
Well, promotion.
I'm always teaching, even when I'm live on Facebook.
Let everybody know who are the other 4 will be defending their titles at Gold Rush on Saturday night.
The United States Wrestling Federation, their champion, which is also the Ultimate Championship Wrestling champion, Vic the Bruiser, will be defending his title against, I can't tell you because we're going to release it on Facebook around the 10 o'clock hour tonight. So, yeah, everybody watching, you have to go over to the AMW Facebook page, Appalachian Mountain Wrestling. Just go over there and see who it is, the 10 o'clock hour. Now, does that mean it's at 10 o'clock on the dot? No, possibly 10:01. I mean, we are
a little bit after 10.
They do. Yeah, it's 10-ish.
10-ish.
Around the 10 o'clock hour. It might even be 9:59. Who knows? Whenever the tech guy's feeling froggy, he'll put it up around that hour. So you'll find out who is wrestling Vic the Bruiser. Vic the Bruiser, who wrestled in the WWF in the late 90s. For those that don't know, and has wrestled all over the Americas and some over in Japan. So then you've got, so who else we got? The USA Main Event Wrestling promotion from out of the Carolinas. They run events down in North and South Carolina. Their heavyweight championship and their tag team championships are on the card as well. So you've got those titles being defended. I can tell you somebody that has something to do with Jackson and Breathitt County will be competing for one of those championships. Who could that be? Also, might find out on Facebook at 10 o'clock. Maybe. Yes, I'm pushing everybody to the AMW Facebook page at 10 o'clock. So,
I'll be looking. So,
let's see. Then we got the WFS, the World Fighting Showcase. Our friends from West Virginia. They're having their television title being defended by Lord Murphy Costigan. CJ.
Yes, I need to practice. I need to practice that day between now and Saturday.
It's all right. Lord Murphy Costigan versus the troublemaker Brian Logan. That match is being sent over by the promoter's office over with the WFS. So they will be competing for that title. Also, their American Championship, which is held by David Anthony, that you've seen on AMW television. David Anthony he has issued an open challenge to any wrestler in the 5 locker rooms. So, who could that be? Yeah, we ain't telling you at 10 o'clock. You'll have to buy tickets to find that one out.
Yeah.
Could have something to do with somebody in Jackson, too. You never know.
Never know about an AMW event. Surprises galore.
Yeah, I know one person who's not on the card, CJ, and it's a crying shame because the president is a close personal friend of mine.
Yes.
She's like my sister. That's me. I'm not on the card.
I know that. I was just getting ready to tell people that you're not on the card right now, and that's a shame.
That's a shame. I don't know who comes up with this stuff, but
maybe you should challenge that Brian guy for the belt or David Anthony for the belt. That'll get you on the card.
That's true.
They figured it was probably past your bedtime, Kyle.
You know what? It probably is. Some of us have to get up early in the morning. You know, I like to pick myself up and go make my breakfast and go work out. I don't need Polly to roll me out of bed. Anyways, maybe I could. See, that's where I have to contact my manager, Lemon Juice McGee. He was going to be on here with me, but contrary to popular belief, he doesn't come to my house and lay in the bed with me. And he's actually over at Lemon Juice McGee's Comic Cavalcade on Facebook selling comic books right now. Yeah, he's got the biggest comic book store in the state. Well, shouldn't say comic book, the biggest pop culture store in the state of Kentucky, right there in Somerset. And no, I did not make my scheduled appearance. If you've seen it on his Facebook page at Adult World, I missed out on that one. I didn't do the signing there today. So I was late to the party. I just missed out.
I understand. I understand why you would miss that. Yeah, I understand. One other thing I want to mention, Kyle, and I want to mention Grow Rush one more time. If you're going to be at the Black Gold Festival, we're going to have an AMW live event at the Triangle Park there in Hazard, Kentucky. That's going to be on Saturday, September 18th at 2 o'clock. It's going to be a fun event. 2 o'clock, is that right?
2 o'clock. First time in the Black Gold Festival since we've been open, so we're excited. Right next to where Victor Gaynor sells the best barbecue in town.
Yep. Should be a fun.
Field free for me, baby.
Should be a fun. Should be a lot of fun there at the Black Gold Festival.
The Gold Rush. Let's back up to that. Anybody needing tickets? I can tell you right now, it will be announced at 10 o'clock. But I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag right here on CJ's show. If you want to see, here's how they're going to do it. If you have a front row ticket, we have X number of front row tickets on sale. There's a limited number of tickets on sale for the night just due to COVID and the way we are having to lay out seating. We use seats for the night. So, limited number of tickets on sale, whether they be front row, ringside, or general admission. We do have all those available online on eventbrite.com. 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 Just go on there and search AMW Gold Rush. If you have a front row ticket, you get in at 5:30, get a special meet and greet with all these wrestlers from all these different promotions. You also get to see extra matches that nobody else will see that night. Unless you have the ticket, you don't get to see the matches. Now, we're sitting there talking about these matches. I can't tell you which ones are going to be part of that. Could this guy from Jackson, Kentucky, who's wrestling, it's not Marty Clay, could he be part of that? Could he be on that special, on one of those special matches? Don't know. Have to buy a ticket. Only way you will find out is if you've got a front row ticket. And yes, they cost a little bit more, but you're getting more by getting those front row tickets. You're getting in early. You're getting to meet the wrestlers. You're getting to sit front row, and then you're getting extra matches only for a few dollars more. If you're a wrestling fan, you can't beat it. Eventbrite.com or see Coach John Noble over there, Breathitt County Boys basketball team, who's sponsoring the night. He has tickets, or any of the ball players. Marty Clay, hometown hero Marty Clay, going for the AMW Heavyweight Championship, which we forgot to mention. Stan Sierra's not been pinned for that championship in over 2 years. Can he get it done in his hometown? Oh, the drama and the excitement. Can you feel it right here? Corey feels it.
Also, the other two belts. We got the Heat Seekers defending against Mo and Ahmad. And then the other one, am I correct? Is it going to be the Mega Destroyer versus
Mega Destroyer takes on
cousin
RT3.
Who?
No, RT3.
Okay,
cousin Frank's not there that night. Mega Destroyer takes on RT3. Those who don't know, RT3, famed student of the School of Morton, will be challenging for the Southeastern Heavyweight Championship. Okay. Those who missed us last night in Stickleyville, Mega Destroyer put his championship on the line against the familiar foe. I'm not going to tell you who, because you should have bought a ticket to be there. Sorry. Ain't going to do it. get you all out buying tickets and at least following the AMW Facebook page to find this stuff out, or go over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. Yeah, I can plug all day, CJ.
Oh, well, Kyle, I'm gonna let you get.
Speaking of plugs, I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to the title sponsor of AMW Television. That's Tim Short Ford and Lincoln of Hazard.
Yep.
You need to.
How many times did I screw that up?
In the market for a new car, you need to head over, holler at my boy Chet Wood, and take that short drive to satisfaction.
Love it. Kyle's got it all now. Kyle, we'll love having you on the show. We'll want to bring you back again sometime so you can promote some more.
I have a question. I'm going to interview you real quick, CJ.
Go ahead.
Does anybody know if Coach Mackney's okay?
The last I've heard that he is, the family does not want his, him. They just want you to pray for him. Okay. They do not want any information leaked. I know somewhere I saw somebody leak something. I can't tell you if it's true or not. The families try to keep it not being leaked out. So please pray for him. He is an outstanding gentleman, and he needs your prayers. But Kyle, I will see you on Saturday night at around 5 o'clock or earlier than that. I'll be there about.
Well, you got to be there. You got to set up your meet and greet with CJ. You got to have your pictures out there so you can sign autographs and hug the babies and kiss the wives and all that stuff that pro wrestlers and announcers do.
Yeah. So we'll be right there. Can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun, Kyle. AMW Gold Rush at the Breathitt County Coliseum there in Jackson.
Actually, it's in the PE gym.
It's going to be in the PE gym.
We're always in the PE gym there. That Coliseum's it's
too big.
Holy Grail over there. We just go in the PE gym.
Okay. 7 o'clock is the bell time, and got a meet and greet at 5:30. If you have a front row ticket.
If you have a front row ticket, you don't have a front row ticket, you don't get into 6:30.
Nope. You'll be outside. Well, Kyle,
I have to add, masks must be worn at all times. We will be asking everyone. The Breathitt County School System has asked us to ask everyone to tell everyone you must wear a mask or you won't be allowed to enter. Okay. And you won't be able to. So
masks need to be worn at the event on Saturday night.
Yeah, well, Kyle, there will be no contact between the wrestlers and the fans either. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Kyle, it's been an honor. Always. I will see you Saturday.
See you Saturday. Corey, Snoochie Boochies, I'm out.
Kyle, glad you got out of bed to come see us, buddy. I hope Ashley makes you good breakfast in the morning.
Oh, Lord.
See you, Kyle.
See you, Kyle. Be good. All right, Kyle Maggard. He's a dandy. He's a good wrestler. You know, we're going to mention John Noble and Eddie Browning has been a part of AMW in the past. They've wrestled many times, wrestled each other. A couple years ago, John Noble wrestled Kyle there at the Miller Phone Center. You can see that on the AMW Wrestling Network.com. So
they do a really good job of that.
They do.
They got the personality to really do that, and they they're passionate about it and they care about it. I like to cut up with Kyle a lot, but he really does do a good job at that, and he's a master promoter for sure.
Yeah, he does. He's a really good. I tell you what, I've been helping him for the last month and a half, and I've enjoyed myself so much. I'm the ring announcer. I've done some announcing at the table during TV. I don't know if you watched. I've been on TV the last 3 weeks with my sidekick. So we've had a lot of fun doing it. I went down there to school, Morton. It was a lot of fun. But Kyle did tell the truth. He's not on the card. So you never know if there's going to be some surprises. So the only way you're going to know what's going on is you got to be there. So Coach Hampton was supposed to have been with us at 8:30. I was looking on my phone to see if he may have left something. not heard from him. So we got Coach Hilton supposed to join us at 9. But I don't know. Again, they also want you to wear a mask Saturday night to the event. So that's an indoor event. Any indoor event or any indoor place that wants you to wear a mask, you have to wear it. Unless you're outside, you don't have to wear a mask. But I have been seeing a lot of people wear masks, though, outside. I think if you want to, it's okay. I have no problem with it if you make them feel better. What do you think about it?
I'm like you. I think it's everybody's choice if they want to wear that mask when they're outside. I do it both ways. Sometimes it just depends on where I'm at and what kind of crowd I'm in and things like that. If it's a bigger crowd and things, sometimes I put my mask on. But I like you said, I think it's all left up to that person on how comfortable you feel with where you're at and your surroundings and things like that.
I was going to ask you, what was your thoughts about the? I know I screwed this up, so let me go back to where I had it. Let me see. Let me go back. Jacob McCoy being the new boys coach at Buckhorn. Tell me a little bit about him because I don't know much about him, and people that I've talked to wouldn't be able to tell me much. So tell me a little bit about him.
Well, I don't know him really well. I know that he was an assistant at Owsley County with Coach Gary Bolin over there the last couple of years, and I think he'd been in Breathitt County for a little while. And I know he's originally from Lee County, and he's got a couple kids that play. I've talked to him a couple times. That's about the extent that I know him. But everybody seems to be excited about him coming on. I still live in Chavy, so I see a lot of the same people that I seen when I was at Buckhorn, and everybody seems to be excited about him getting started.
And if I saw correctly, did Owsley County hire their new coach?
They did. I think Bobby Bolin had taken it over, but of course,
he's been sick. He's been doing some medical procedures and stuff to get better. So I know he's been sick.
And I believe they're Neil Terry now. From what I've seen on, I think it was on Facebook, maybe last night or this morning.
I saw that. I believe it was Friday. I saw it on Twitter.
Might have been Friday.
Twitter's where I saw that. So I think he's been assistant coach. Is that what he was?
He had been assistant over there. And I know him a little bit better than Coach McCoy. He used to coach some grade school basketball, and we would have tournaments and things, and he'd bring teams over. And then his son had went to Jackson City for a few years, and then he transferred to Jackson County, and this year he was helping at Jackson County. We went over and played a game over there, and I got to talk to him a little bit that night, and I think he'll do a good job. He's been around it a long time, and everybody seems to be excited again for both schools with both their new hires.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know much about Jacob, but we'll know more about him as we go along, and we'll know about Coach Terry there at Owsley. I do want to ask you. I have never seen the amount of coaching changes this past season. I mean, it seemed like every day we were seeing one or other. What was leading to all this? Well,
I think a lot of it was, on a given year in the 14th region, you'll have some change, not a whole lot, but the year after the 19-20 season, we went straight into COVID, and everybody just kind of forgot about, coaching changes as far from administrative level, and just kind of was focusing on getting through this pandemic, and some people came back for another year. Maybe coaches were planning on leaving and decided to come back for another year because it was in such a crazy time. And I think that was a lot of it was, you kind of had double the turnover because the year before we didn't have a whole lot. And, there's just a lot of situations that goes into coaching, and that it's sometimes, it's just not the right fit or whatever, and it don't work out, and coaches leave or they're let go, but I'm with you. There was a lot of turnover this year.
I counted, if I'm right, there was like 9 girls. I'm sorry, between the boys and girls coaches, 10 changes. The one that surprised me the most, because I would have never dreamed he would have left Estill, was John. And I want to have John back on as a co-host again, because I really want to talk to him about him leaving to go to Montgomery County. But, I wonder what led to him. I wonder what he was thinking when he left Estill, because we go to find out that former Estill County girls coach Brian Hall is back now coaching the boys at Estill. Mm-hmm. But I'm just wondering why John left, because John had a great opportunity several times to go back to his alma mater, but he never did. So he goes take which Montgomery County is a good job. He also hired Robert Paul Amos, who was at Pike Central, is now his assistant coach at Montgomery County.
Yeah.
And that's going to be interesting to see that, because he's in the 11th. No, he's in the 11th. The 11th region, where they're pretty tough. Where we got Mason County, Campbell County, all those good teams.
Yeah, Montgomery County, like you said, it's a good job. It's in a tough region. You got Mason and George Rogers Clark, Campbell County, some of the teams that's kind of been synonymous with the state tournament. But, I believe he's in a pretty good situation there. And just talking to him a little bit, and he lives in Lexington, I believe. I think he did live in Richmond. I think he's moved now, so it's pretty close to where he lives at, and where his wife. I think she works in Lexington, so it's a good situation for him from what I can tell.
Well, I wish him best of luck. I want him to come back want him to come back, and I see why Coach Hampton's not on the show. I didn't see him an invitation. I thought I did, but apparently I didn't. So yeah, I did actually. I did send him one. I need to tell him what to do. Go ahead, Corey, and talk to the people while I'm doing this 1 second.
Yeah, Coach Bentley, he's done a great job at Estill. I think he was there for 10 or 11 seasons, and took them to the state tournament. First time they'd ever been in school history. Done a great job down there from where they were at when he took over his first couple seasons to now they were one of the teams that were in the regional tournament every year. And I think he'll do a great job in Montgomery County.
Okay, hopefully we'll hear from Coach Hampton in just a moment. Yeah, I hope he does well. And I hope Brian has good success at Estill.
I do too.
I told I had John on here, not John, Winston on here a couple first 2 shows. He's at Jenkins now, and I hope he has great success there. I think he can. I think he can turn that program around.
I do too. Those 2 guys you talk about, Brian Hall, he's coached for a long time. He's been a lot of different places, and he's done a good job at every place he's been to. And he's one of the best overall people that you'll ever meet. And same thing for Winston. Me and Winston kind of got started together. I think I had 1 year that I was in Jackson City that he was still helping Coach Hammonds at Letcher Central, but we kind of got rolling together, and he's been one of my closest friends in coaching. And, I know he's going to do a great job of the work that he puts in, and the the amount that he cares about his players and his school, the same way with Coach Hall. I think they're both going to do a great job this year.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be nice to have Brian back in the region. He was at Bryan Station coaching the girls. He did a really good job, and so we'll see what he brings to the table for the Engineers. It's never too early to talk basketball, but I think this region's going to be crazy because there's so many teams that's going to be able to compete this year. But I got two I'm going to throw at you that I think may shock a lot of people. Lee County, and I think I've lost some other team. I think Wolf's going to be a lot better, even though they lost a lot of people. I think Lee and Wolf are two teams. I know Wolf's had really good the last 3 years, but they lost a lot of kids, so I still think they're going to be dangerous. But Lee County is going to be the most dangerous team in the region.
Wolf County had a couple kids that ended up staying back. I think maybe the last little bit they had the Tolson kids, I believe, stayed back, and then of course Sawyer Thompson's coming back. I think Lee County will be a good ball club. Josh Broadwell that helped me for a couple of years went over there and has done a really good job with them.
Yeah, we'll check it. We're going to check it out later down the road. Joining us is Coach Anthony from Shelby Valley. Coach, it's good to have you with us.
Good to be here, guys. Thanks for having me.
Always. We always love to get down in the Pikeville area and talk to you guys. You off to a 2-1 start. Got a big win the other night over Floyd Central, 16-14 in a defensive battle. But you've got a quarterback that everybody's been talking about a lot, Russ Osborne, one of the top quarterbacks in the mountains. Talk about your team a little bit and talk about him because he's got a phenomenal skill at the quarterback position.
Yeah, sophomore right now, but he middle school has been kind of on the national stage. He went to Florida and different places and won some national competitions, quarterback competitions, and been to a lot of elite camps this past summer. UK and to Alabama on invite-only camps. Was invited him down. Phenomenal kid. His dad is actually an assistant on the staff. His dad's been coaching 20 years. So he's a football kid. He's grown up in the game, so understanding the game and how to read zones and how to use motion and pre-snap stuff. He's way ahead of the game. And his arm's extremely accurate, and the kid can run. I mean, if he gets in a problem of any kind, he can always make something positive out of something negative. He's a great player. Also, I got a junior. It's actually Russ's cousin, Lincoln Billiter. He's down here with an ACL injury, but he spent the summer on several Division I schools' campuses. He's a 6'5", 255-pound linebacker and kick and run. He getting a lot of Division I looks also, and the rest of my team right now, I'll just be honest, status how we're starting up this year. We're extremely young. The majority of my starters are sophomores, sprinkled in with a handful of freshmen and juniors. I only have 2 seniors on the roster, and one of those is hurt. So
you're getting ready to go in the meat of your schedule. You got North Laurel this coming Friday. They're a nice football team. And then you got West Carter, who has been your nemesis the last couple of years because once they joined the district. Talk about your district as a whole because I think Eastridge has improved a ton, even though they got beat the other night pretty bad by Betsy Layne. Bath County seems to be playing a little bit better. And West Carter lost a lot. So how is the district as a whole?
Well, one thing, most districts across the state have 4 teams, 14 districts. We have 6. For our district, you got to play to go. I mean, you can't just be like some people and just ride it out, go 0-10 and go in the postseason.
Yeah.
You have to earn the way. But, West Carter, they were 3A and they dropped down 2 years ago to 2A. And, when they arrived on the scene, we had spent no less than a decade trying to get over the hump Prestonsburg, to kind of take for our district. We succeeded and done that for a handful of years, and then West Carter arrived on the scene, and they kind of took the throne, and they've lost a lot of kids this season, but man, they returned a ton of great athletes. Very well coached team. Coach Barker and his staff, year in and year out, they're extremely well coached. I'm always extremely impressed with their fundamentals on their line, both sides, offense and defense. Their line, whoever their line coach is very impressive. And they still got tons of speed. They got a Bond kid back and McGlone. They got some kids that can play. They lost Klein, who was definitely a special type of back. But they still return tons of speed and athleticism, and so they're right now, in the way I see it, the way I've always seen it, they're the team to beat until proven otherwise. And then Prestonsburg has improved from last year to this year. Eastridge, like you said, has made phenomenal strides. Coach Burdine came from South Florida and took over the program, and they've really improved. Bath County, I know, looking at last year's rosters to this year, Bath County probably has the most experienced team in the district. They have the most older kids that's played a lot in the district. And one team people sleep on, and they better not, is Martin County.
Yeah.
Martin is always going to come with some power football, and if you're not ready for some physicality, you're not going to survive.
Yeah, they got a big win the other night. They got the shootout with Fleming County, and then winning that game by a couple, 5-6 points. Coach at Shelby Valley is Shelby's been known as a running school, and to have the athlete as Russ Osborne at quarterback to throw. How have you been able to tie both of them together? Because, you guys have had some of the best running backs ever to play there. But to have the athlete as the Russ, how do you tie all that together?
Well, everyone knows me. I've been there. I think this is year 21. I'm definitely a power running guy. I love the running game. But, for the past, just to be honest, for the past 6 or 8 years, we've been kind of looking to move to more spread and some more things, get more people and kids involved. But, as everyone knows, you can't do that to get personnel. We've had years past, we've had some good quarterbacks, but didn't have the receivers to go along with it. We've had receivers, not the quarterbacks, and it's just one of those deals. You can't really run it until you have the personnel. And at the same time, everyone knows me. That's always been kind of a hybrid, kind of a blend, so I can get the power running game and a little bit of play action in. But when Russ came, it wasn't just Russ. I mean, Russ is a special talent, and everyone knows about him. But he's got a lot of friends and buddies, and it's grown up with him catching that ball. So there's a lot of kids that have the ability to catch the football now. And once you have the quarterback can throw it, guys that can catch it, it's easy to blend that. When our line's always been, kind of taught to do the power running game, and back for been taught to hit the hole and kind of do the things they do. So all we had to do is kind of work instead of vertically or angle blocking with the line. We start working forward during the past 2 off seasons, kind of getting ready because installing this system last year, it didn't really happen last year. We started a season before that, training the kids, in the off season and getting the linemen ready to move so they can work some zone stuff, communicate and climb, and things that you do in zone that you don't typically do when you angle block it on one or drive block it on the phone, power out, whatever. So, we spent a season or 2 getting the linemen and the personnel ready because the kids are fairly athletic, just big kids. Then we had, teach the backs to, instead of exploding through the hole, you kind of pressing the line to plant the foot and go like you do in a zone. You cut. So there's a lot of things that went into it, but to be totally honest, once we started throwing it more, and more kids were having fun and getting involved, as far as the roster goes, just having more out. I've always had 4 football players that love the game that was going to play regardless. Now we're getting some of the other athletes in the school, some basketball kids or baseball kids that enjoy the game, that would really enjoy, kind of stand out and have success and a spread that may not do. So it really helped us get kids out. It's been a process. Although
Yeah. Corey, do you have any questions you want to ask Coach Hampton?
Yeah, I was just I heard you mentioned being inexperienced, and I coached basketball for several years, helping now, but really when you got a team like that, when you just kind of have to throw them out there and they just have to learn as they go, don't they, Coach?
Yeah, it's one of those things. I got about 4 or 5 freshmen starting, a ton of sophomores, and a handful of juniors, whatever. But that's what happens is these kids, come out of middle school, or even if you played JV last year and you're not on varsity, there's no late in the game. The game speed itself was just a big step up for these kids, and you have growing pains. We talked after the first game against Letcher Central. The kids came out and they were exactly what I predicted to be. They got big eyed. The big crowd, the lights, and a team rolling in with tons of players, and
Right.
So they got big eyed on us. It took us a half to get kind of wake up a little bit. Got to get
Yeah.
And
I know.
at that point, we dug such a hole. It was a little bit late to try to do anything. Each game, the Pike Central game, the first half was the same thing. They were just shell-shocked, starry-eyed because of the Pike County Bowl and such a big crowd kind of overwhelmed the young kids. The second half, they started, kind of getting into their own and started playing. And then the Floyd Central game this past week, I knew when I scheduled that game, it was going to be one of those power physical things. It was super physical. So I tell these kids, because, like I said, when I get into Martin County people in my district, I got to be ready for that. These kids.
Yeah.
So once we, scheduled them, I knew these kids were going to be a little shell-shocked early for that too, because, Floyd Central's big. Their backs and everyone, they're big. And they're physical. Coach Hager does a great job, and they run the wishbone, and there's a reason why they run the wishbone.
Mm-hmm. Actually,
it helped our kids kind of grow, and as the game went, I was able to watch them toward the end step up. I think they got the 10-yard line on us 3 times without scoring. Our kids kind of stepped up and stiffened up a little bit there inside the 10 in the red zone, and it held them out defensively, and that was huge. To see these kids finally get over the nerves, the things, the butterflies, whatever you want to say, and kind of just rise up and play a little bit.
kind of start to see it click.
Yeah, and we're probably about 65% where we need to be. But I kind of expected that, knowing what the roster is going to be this year as far as grade and youth and experience on the field, that it's going to be a process, just trying to get there before the district, and Hoskins, I do believe you may have coached what's going to be my son-in-law in AAU back. Did you coach Christian Mounts?
What was his name?
Christian Mounts.
I did.
I thought so.
He actually played on the team. I kind of helped around. I put it together, and Charlie Pack coached it. But I was around helping with him as well. He's a great kid. He was a good basketball player.
Yeah. I'm assuming that it appears it's going to be my family for the next year. So
he was a good one. I think he played with us a couple summers. He was always a good kid and real respectful and could put some points on the board.
Let's hope for his sake he stays respectful.
Coach, I know that you got getting ready for North Laurel. They're a good ball club. They've got a good ball club rolling in there. They're very physical. They've got a really good sophomore bunch. I know that they got a big win a couple weeks ago against Breathitt County on the road. Anytime you can go to Jackson, win, that's a big win. So get good luck against them. Good luck the rest of the season. Would you come back on the show again? I'd like to have you back and see how progress is going.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. Sure would.
Yeah, I would love to have you back. So, Coach, thank you so much. Good luck against North Laurel and good luck in district play.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Good talking
Coach
to
Anthony
you.
Hampton, the Shelby Valley Wildcats. Good luck to him. They got, of course, that's North Laurel at home. And the Jaguars, they got a nice football team. But they're in a district with Pulaski County, Southwestern. So if you're going to get a home playoff game, you're going to beat one of them teams.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be it's crazy. Corey, you mentioned Charlie Pack. That is a very fine gentleman. He does a lot of. He coaches some in the 16th region. He does a lot of different things in the 16th. But Charlie's a good man. He's good friends with Mark Collett and Coach Rice and all those. He's from Leslie County. I know Charlie well. Talk a little bit about him because he's a good guy.
Well, he's actually now CJ. He's coaching. He's the assistant coach at Kentucky Christian University.
Okay, awesome, and, great.
I remember when he coached at Leslie County. I think he actually coached a little bit with the boys and the girls, maybe with Tim, and then when Mark took over for the girls, and me and him got to know each other. He reached out to me one day, and we were trying to put together a younger team. We had an older group of kids when my brother was playing, and Tristan Collett from over at Leslie County, Josh Crank, some of those guys, and we were putting together a younger team to go and play. And Charlie wanted to bring some kids up from Raceland, where he was coaching at the time, and I ended up having to ask Charlie to coach, and he didn't really know at first if he could do it with his work schedule, and he decided to do it, and he was great. We became great friends, and done a lot of traveling together through that AAU basketball, and he's still one of my best friends today that I talk to on a regular basis about different stuff, how the college game is going. When he was coaching in high school, we would, if I was playing a team from up that way, I'd always call him, get a scouting report. He'd call me and do the same thing. And, a lot of times we'd just kind of throw ideas off each other. He's a real good guy. One of my best friends, got a real good family. I like his wife, Misty, and his daughter, Alex, a lot. And, they're good people.
He was very valuable to Leslie County when he was there. So Charlie's a good man. I enjoyed talking with him a lot. I know a couple years ago, Leslie County played up our Racelands in a Christmas tournament. Charlie had put that together so they could go play in it. And Jughead enjoyed that a lot. That was a good tournament for them to play in.
We were actually scheduled to play in that tournament this past year, and everything got pushed back to January 1, and everything got canceled. So,
I know I wouldn't be amiss if we didn't talk about your dad a little bit. Miss him a lot. My dad passed away back in June. I know me and you have the same feeling, but your dad was very instrumental in a lot of on the 14th region. I am wondering, are you going to continue the little classic that you did last year? I know I saw some schedules. They're still going to do the Scotty Blank Classic at Buckhorn.
Yep.
But I'm wondering what you were going to do with your dad's classic.
We are. We decided when we first started, right after Dad passed, me and Shannon and my brother Connor got together and kind of planned it out. And the plan was from the get-go to rotate between Buckhorn and Prairie Central because of Shannon being Dad's brother and, of course, me and Connor at Buckhorn. So this year it would have went to Prairie Central anyways. So we'll be hosting that at Prairie Central. We've got some great teams lined up for that. As of right now, we've got teams from the 14th region playing other top name teams from all around the mountains, and even some Lexington schools. And we plan to keep that going every year. And next year, if Coach McCoy and Mr. Tim Wooten wants to host that classic, we'll move that back to Buckhorn, and then, of course, rotate it back to Prairie Central next year to keep that going. And, I think it's a great thing because we're trying to help, find or support research for that type of cancer that Dad had, the neuroendocrine cancer, and we've also kind of got on board with the Coaches versus Cancer a little bit, not necessarily at a national level, but with coaches right here in Eastern Kentucky that need, our help, and that may be going for treatments, that may, be going for a test and need a little money to get a hotel room or something, to get some meals or things like that. And we want to be able to help where we can. And, this classic allowed us this year to donate over $3,000, I believe it was, to cancer research, and then another $500 to a local coach and an athletic director in the 14th region that we talked about earlier on here, Bobby Boland, that needed our help. And as he was going through his medical procedures, and that's what we want to do is try to help these coaches and everybody that has to fight this horrible disease. So we plan to keep that going.
Yeah, I love it. I watched several games on the computer last year. I wanted to come watch it in person, but you couldn't. You wouldn't allow because many people could be there. So, but this year hopefully won't be a problem. There'll be no limitations on fans. So football, that's been the one thing about football. These fans piling in here and cheering, it's giving me chill bumps. I can't wait for basketball. Hopefully it's going to be the same. I know probably there might be a mask starting off, but eventually masks won't have to be worn inside and you can get rid of it. But I know the girls are in the Scotty Blank Classic this year. Is there a chance that Leslie County boys or girls will be in your dad's classic eventually?
The Leslie County boys are in it.
Okay, awesome.
I would like to get the girls. See, right now we've got a full schedule.
Yeah.
Unless we play games we're playing Friday, January the 14th, and Saturday, January the 15th. Unless we move some games to Sunday afternoon, right now we're kind of full. But Leslie County boys is in it. I believe they're playing. I'd have to look, but they're one of the Saturday games on that second day. And I'd like to get Coach Sparks and the girls in there as well. I think we've got 2 girls games this year. They'll be playing on Friday night, and hopefully we can get some more next year.
Yeah, I know. I don't know who we're playing in the Scott Blake Classic, but I know we're in it. I saw it on the schedule, so that's going to be a lot of fun. I love what you're doing for your dad. What you're doing for cancer research is awesome, and I want you to continue because this disease is very dangerous. And I know that if coronavirus hadn't come along, that I think we would have probably been in a better situation to battle cancer. But now with the coronavirus, they've had to take their sources and try to get a vaccine, and it takes away from some of the other medical things that needs to be researched and done. Yeah, and hope you guys continue to do that. It's a lot of fun.
Well, we just hope we can make a difference some way. It's a terrible tragedy, but we try to make a difference and be of help to some other people. And it's kind of like with the Scott Blank Classic and the cam run here that my parents done, my mom does now, my uncle, and we're really all my family, supporting these kids with both that Cameron Hoskins scholarship and the Scott Blank scholarship, giving back to the kids of the schools in Perry County, and with the Big Lou Classic, it's kind of more of a broader. We were able to help more people than just people in Perry County, but we just try to take something like a death and make something good out of it.
Yeah. I know. When I think of Buckhorn, I think of Pat Wooten, and I miss him a lot. And A lot going on. And if you can be a part of it, please be a part of it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
There is actually, well, I'm not 100% sure on this. I had a Pat Wooten Classic scheduled again for this year. We done the first one last year, and I'm assuming they'll keep that on the schedule for next year or for this upcoming season. Because, you know, like you said, when people think of Buckhorn, they think of Mr. Wooten. And
oh, yeah.
Kind of the staple for that school and that community. Wonderful man, and was a great educator and sheriff and mayor, and just done a lot for the kids. Any kid that went to school over there and anybody that he could help.
Yeah, he's a fixture of Buckhorn, and the people should never forget him. Never forget your dad. Those are two individuals that have shaped a lot of what's going on in the mountains. We're supposed to have Coach Dudley Hilton with us. Apparently, he must have got busy. So if we don't get him this week, we'll try to get him next week. I know he's a busy man. I know I got their schedule in front of me. He is getting ready to play Lincoln County in the Pride of the Mountains Bowl there at Bell County. So they didn't get to play last week because of COVID. So should be hopefully he'll get on. If not, we'll try to get him next week. Still got Courtney to come. We had a good show tonight. How about a phone call? How about you pick the phone up and call me? 1-346-314-0906. We've had comments tonight from several people. Let me through Brandon Barrett left a comment. AJ Caldwell, good friend of mine. Mark Crawford, Keith Hall, Derek Flinchin watching, Kevin Day, Will Fugit, Johnny Lash, Karen, my good friend Karen Cottle. She was wanting to know what we thought about the Letcher Pikeville game this past weekend. We'll talk about that in a second. And then the legendary Coach Larry Sparks said that we were sounding great here on this Sunday night. But go back to football week 3, Corey. Game of the week on YMT was Pikeville and Letcher Central. You know, and I told you earlier, I thought Letcher Central don't need to get their head down because losing to Pikeville is no shame. But talk about that game a little bit because Pikeville was they were rolling Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like you. I don't think Letcher needs to hang their hat on that. Letcher County Central's got a good football team. I've not got a chance to watch them. I plan to watch them in the next couple of weeks. I believe they're coming to play. I believe they play Hazard next weekend, and that may be at Whitesburg. And they're coming to Prairie Central, I believe, the following weekend. Mm-hmm. And but you know, from everything I can read and everything I can find out from the people in the football world, Letcher County Central's got a good football club. And you know, Pikeville's a school that even though they're Class A. And I know some people say, well, they're Class A. Pikeville is as good as anybody, and you know that's no loss to hang your head about for any school, no matter what the size. Because when it comes like early December, Pikeville's going to be there with a chance to be in the state championship, and you know most years they're going to be there also. So I think that was a good test for Letcher Central early on.
Well, I have to amend Letcher to take the game because you know you lose your game because of COVID. Pikeville didn't have a game, so you know Letcher said, "Well, we'll step up to the plate." And I don't think the coach really mattered win or loss. He wanted to see how good they were. Then he could get a measuring stick of where they can go from there. So I mean, you know. You look at some of the games this weekend. Let's look at a few of them again for this week. You've got Brent, like I said, Breathitt and Prairie Central. Will they play? I don't know. Breathitt, if they're still in quarantine, they won't. How good is Prairie Central? They're 2-0. They've had 2 nice victories. But where are they at? They're on the road. They got to go to Jackson. if Breathitt does play, they're going to be coming off quarantine. How effective are they going to be? Hazard and Letcher. What's Letcher's mind frame going to be when the Bulldogs roll in the town? Hazard didn't get to play this week, so I talked with Coach Howard Thursday when they were still trying to find a game. Not playing sometimes makes you lose your focus. So what kind of mind frame will Letcher have? What will Hazard have? And Leslie County, I'm going to tell you something. Got beat pretty bad the other night, 62-14. Not concerned with wins or losses right now. Concerned about getting these kids some playing time. Because we have probably one or two, our lineman is about the only people that have any experience playing. And Leslie County's just learning. The Ostrander kid playing quarterback, it's not that never played quarterback in his life. So he's learning on the fly. There's a lot of kids learning on the fly. The one thing that I'm proud of them because they play hard. They're not, they may not get the result they want, but eventually they're going to get that result. And, I said the other night, I done radio with Dwayne Friday night that we done the game. And I kept telling them, this is just the building blocks to get better for later. Because no matter what you do, you got to improve and do these things later anyway. Now, returning home, and we heard Coach Hampton mention that Floyd Central is a very physical team. Well, Leslie County can get physical, so this could be a really physical game. And if it is, it's going to be a really close game. So that's homecoming too for Leslie County. It's going to be a fun game. I also were told that this is going to be we have a different sponsor every game, a home game. And our sponsor this week is going to be Mountain Comprehensive Care Center. They're going to be our sponsor for the game. So that's going to be fun to got stuff that I'll have to read. They help with kids and families in the county of Leslie County, I think Perry County and other counties. So they're going to be our sponsor this week. So we're looking forward to that a lot. Courtney Brewer is going to be with us at 9:30. Coach Hilton apparently did not get to make it tonight. I will get back up with him. Hopefully we'll have him next week or maybe the weeks will come. Want to remind everybody, too, if you'll take a few moments, send a prayer out for Jim Matney. He needs it. I know they had a prayer visual on Twitter today for him around 3:30. So take a second, give you a prayer, get you a prayer, send me a prayer. He really needs it. Hopefully we'll have an update on him and some other things come along. I know they're scheduled to play a team out of Illinois on Saturday. We'll wait and see how everything works out. But Coach Matney is one of the most nicest gentlemen I've ever met. I've talked to him several times on the phone. Going to get him on the show. Hopefully that can still happen. But Corey, he's a great guy because he's just not a good football coach. He's a great wrestling coach.
Yeah.
When you think of Johnson Central, you think of football, but you also think wrestling because that's what they're good at too.
Yeah, he's done an excellent job in both programs over there, and like you said, just a great man, and one of those guys that came from Eastern Kentucky and really kind of making Eastern Kentucky proud. And I remember watching the speech that he gave over there a couple of years ago, and just a great guy and a great coach and somebody that kind of proud to say, hey, that guy's from Eastern Kentucky too. I certainly praying for him and his family right now. I saw that online today. I said, that's a great guy right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he's a class act, and if you can give him a prayer, we'd appreciate it. Courtney will be joining us hopefully here in a couple of minutes. let's talk about Kentucky's next opponent. When we talked about Kentucky winning Saturday over Louisiana Monroe, what do you think is going to happen Saturday night against Missouri?
Like you said earlier, that's kind of a game that's they've kind of built up a little bit of a rivalry there with Missouri the last several seasons, and I feel like that if they can come out with that intensity that they kind of got after the first couple drives yesterday, that be a good ball game for Kentucky, and I believe we'll be 2-0.
Yeah. If they win Saturday night, I think they'll win the game the week after. They'll be 3-0 going into the Florida game, which I hope that will be on CBS. I know that it may not be, but I would hope that it be because Kentucky don't get on CBS much. They deserve to be on there. So
I agree.
We'll see how it goes.
I'm excited about this quarterback, and I've always liked a good passing quarterback, and I'm excited. Last couple of years we've had some good running quarterbacks, and have had some pretty good teams. A few years ago, we won, I believe it was 10 games, and beat Penn State in the bowl game. But I'm excited about a good passing quarterback.
Yeah, but Kentucky can run the football, and that's what's dangerous about Kentucky. If you get caught looking in that backfield thinking they're going to run the ball, that's why the passing game is going to be so successful.
Yeah,
because they'll throw it right past you.
It's good to be able to have a couple different attacks to throw at opponents.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what the problem yesterday. Louisiana Monroe was doing. They were staring right in there at the running back, and they didn't pay attention to the receiver, and they ran right by him. So. And we are now joined by another newbie, the second one of the WYMT staff, Miss Courtney Brewer is with us. Courtney, welcome to the CJ Harris Show.
Thank you. I've really been looking forward to getting to come on here.
Yeah, John, see, you're going to get a little less of a lesson than what John got the last 2 weeks. Because he got sandwiched in between Jeff Archer and Tommy Poole.
Oh no!
Yeah, and he got crammed with a lot. Mm-hmm. So I don't think Corey's going to give you a YMT lesson, or I will. So I think you'll be okay.
All right. Well, I'm ready.
It is an honor to have you. I saw you at the Union game, the Clay County. Yes. I had texted you, and I was hoping to get to meet you, and you had already left. So
yeah, I had to get back for sports overtime, but that was a good game.
Yeah, it was a very good game, but surprising because I didn't know Knox Central was as good as they were.
Neither did I.
Yeah, well, that quarterback, he's a transfer from Corbin.
Yes.
And I didn't know much about him because I had done Knox Central football a couple years ago. And that ain't the kid that was a backup because he was a sophomore and he was pretty good.
No, I'm pretty sure that he's a newer kid.
Yeah. Courtney, let's go back and look at week 3 just a few minutes. Then we're going to look at week 4 and we'll talk some UK football.
All right.
I don't like to say this word because this gets me in trouble, but it was a boring week. Not a whole lot happened. It wasn't
so hard when everything is getting canceled. I mean, I texted Neil one of these mornings and I said, "Hey, did anybody else get canceled when I was asleep?" Because it's happening left and right. I mean, we dealt with so much of it in 2020. I mean, I was still in college, but we dealt with so much of it, and we were all like, "It's not going to happen this year," and then it happened this year.
Yeah. You look at the scores, and then I'm just going to throw a few out at you because you would have thought you would have had 4 or 5 games that would go to the wire overtime. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to give you 62-14, 27-20, 27-7, 48-7, 50-16, 42-16, 34-7. we didn't get the week I think we thought. We thought that maybe the Letcher-Pikeville game would be a little closer.
Yeah, I really was shocked by that score when I got back that night. I really anticipated that one being closer, but I've also seen Pikeville play, not this week, but I saw them play week 1 and week 2, and so I wasn't that surprised.
I think what I thought Pikeville would have lost their focus after they get to play the Pike County Bowl. I thought Letcher would take advantage of it, but they didn't. Pikeville was like they were mad, and they just went in there and run over top of them.
Well, they took that hard. I was at Pike County Bowl, and I spoke with Chris McNamee and Christy Orm, and just so sad to not get to have their premier event. And so I think you could think they would lose momentum, but I think they did the exact opposite against Letcher.
Then Corbin made a statement. I mean, they just went out and said, Franklin County, we ain't afraid of you. We're going to whip you. We'll whip you at the line of scrimmage. That's where they whipped them. I mean, the game was determined at the line of scrimmage. We talk about Corbin.
100% was.
That's been their problem the last 2 or 3 years. They've been defeated at the line of scrimmage. But this was the one time they were able to whip somebody at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I was at that game. It was my first game out at Corbin. I was, first of all, blown away by the atmosphere. But, you know, I'm at the game and I'm speaking with some people pre-game. There's people from Lexington there. Vince Mara was out there.
Yeah, I saw that.
But I was talking to somebody from Lexington. They're like, oh, well, you know, this Franklin team, they're ridiculous. They've got Mormon. They beat JC last year. And I'm like, okay, but get ready for what you're about to see from Corbin. Because this is a strong Corbin team from top to bottom.
Yeah. They did a good job with Norman. I thought I don't know if they held him to 50, 60 yards. I think what he had.
Like something crazy. And they weren't having him. So he normally plays on both sides of the ball, and he was only playing offense.
Yeah. Coach Greer was on here last week. He really talked about he was concerned about Norman, but they did such a great job. Yes. Now they got to come back down now because they got to go Pulaski County, even though Pulaski County got absolutely drilled. But Boyle County is one of the best teams in this state, regardless of class.
After that Pulaski County Belfry, I was like, all right, they're doing it. They're going to make this season a real deal for Hines and for Polston.
Yeah.
They keep it so close in Lexington, and then you hope that they can show something against Boyle County, and then they just do the complete opposite. And so Corbin-Pulaski County's argument of the week this week, I would not pick another game in a heartbeat. I'm going to have my eyes on that game all week long.
Is that going to be your guys' game of the week?
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's what I thought. We're going to get to week 4 in just a moment. I just want to key on a few other games from week 3. We talked about Pulaski County having trouble with Boyle, but that was it. I think Coach Hines took that game for one reason only. He wanted to get better for postseason, not for now, for postseason.
Yes.
That's the only reason he played that game, or he wouldn't have played it. I don't think.
Hines is thinking 4 weeks ahead of all of the rest of us.
Yeah. Shelby Valley got inked out of a close game, 16-14 with Floyd Central. We was just talking with Coach Hampton a few minutes ago. He's telling us how physical Floyd Central was. That was a good win for them. But how good is Shelby Valley?
You know, I really enjoyed watching them in the Pike County Bowl. I came into that game pretty ready for it to be Pike Central, and Shelby Valley just completely blew me away. They've got Jaden Newsom. They've got so many other stacked kids. And I think Jaden Newsom's a junior, and so he's got a little bit of extra time. And so I think Shelby Valley is just going to be one of those teams that is fighting to be in at least our top 10 every week. Yeah. They're getting there, and I think it's really impressive. I really like Coach Hampton, and so I'm eager to see what else they can do.
2 more teams, and we'll go to week 4. Prairie didn't play because they were open, but I like Prairie Central a lot. I think they're coming along. I think Coach, they're starting to really come in their own world. And Clay County starting to play some good football. What they're doing it with the running game, not with the passing game, with the running game.
yeah, that's kind of where they're taking it and completely, no pun intended, completely running with that strategy.
Yeah.
They know it. And that's the mark of a good team. You know what you can do. Why would you do anything else?
Yeah. Well, because we know Trent Rice is a great quarterback, can throw it all over the place.
Absolutely.
But if you can't run the football, then makes your passing game clueless, useless. You can't even have it.
Right.
All right. Now, get into week 4. And I know, first of all, I know you want to send your prayers to Coach Matney. Do you have any news on him that you would like to share with us, please?
We haven't heard anything new yet.
Okay. All right.
We
I know they're scheduled to play Saturday against Chillicothe,
I can't
Illinois.
pronounce it either.
I'm doing the best I can with that. But they're supposed to play Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
But that's their game this week. You got Prairie Central supposed to play Breathitt. If Breathitt's out of quarantine.
If Breathitt's out of quarantine.
Yeah, they're out of quarantine. Hazard goes to Letcher. It's going to be an interesting game right there because I want to see Hazard didn't play this week.
Right.
Letcher got throttled. So who's got the better mind frame?
Yeah, they're going in very level-headed or very equal, but both with plenty of experience last year and in the handful of games and scrimmages we've gotten to play this year. So that's,
of course, game of the week is
like we were saying, I'm really lasered in on Pulaski Corbin. I really want to see how that game goes, but Hazard Letcher could be a pretty big game.
Got Corbin and Pulaski. That's your game of the week.
Yes.
North Laurel is going to travel to Shelby Valley. Now, the reason why I mentioned Shelby Valley because North Laurel is, I think, a really good football team.
I think
This
so
could
as
be
well. I really
good
like
test for them on the road. Belfry's supposed to go to Louisville to play Central. And, I know Coach Haywood never started off 0-3. And
he never has.
I don't think so.
By that, but I hadn't been able to get that confirmed. Wow.
No, I've been around a long time. I don't remember him ever being 0-3. If he did, it was when he first started coaching. A long time ago. Because, him and Dudley's only 2 of the 400 wins in Kentucky football.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's a big game for Belfry because they need to get back on track. They don't really go 0-3 heading in district play because district play can get you into trouble, even though that district's not that strong.
They've
got Paintsville and Somerset. Somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to win that game. Who's going to? What do you think about that one?
I found it very ironic that they both had the same score against Beechwood. I was at that Paintsville Beechwood game. It was a really good atmosphere. I'm a big fan of Coach Hoskins, and I'm a little less not invested. I've done a little bit less with Somerset. I've only been out there once, and so this is kind of like that Hazard Letcher game where they're kind of here, and you really just want to see who can get that edge.
Yeah. You got let's see. Russell's going to be at Lawrence. That'll be a pretty good game.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Pride of the Mountains Bowl at Bell County. You got Lincoln County and Bell County. Pike Central.
County, are they out of quarantine? Because wasn't that who Pulaski was supposed to play last week?
I'm sorry. Repeat that again. You were cutting out.
Well, Lincoln County, are they out of quarantine? Because wasn't that who Pulaski County was supposed to play last week?
Yes, they were. So, there's several of these games that could go canceled, depending on their quarantine status.
That's what we've said every week so far.
Yeah. Is Clay County going to have to play at Union this week? I know they got Pike Central.
Probably. I haven't heard otherwise on if their field is done yet.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they end up playing at Union again. And Union isn't home until next week. And so I think they would be fine to use it again.
Then the other game that I thought was interesting was Knox Central to Harlan County. Harlan County is fell on hard times. They got beat pretty bad by Hazard. Then Whitley County, who I didn't know nothing. I didn't know how to judge them. They go in there and they pound Harlan County.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how to judge Harlan County because I don't know how. That's still where they're coming from.
Yeah, against this team, Harlan County, this is going to be kind of something that John and I have talked about a lot of teams as being a yardstick game. This is kind of going to be where we're going to figure out who is this Harlan County team, what are they doing, what do they have the potential to do.
Out the state, if you're concerned, there's only a couple games that really tickle my fancy. Lexington Christian's at Christian Academy out of Louisville. Lexington Catholic's at PRP, and Frederick Douglass is at Dunbar. So
our alma mater. And they're going to lose probably.
Dunbar had a rough Friday night. They got beat pretty bad by Woodford County. Woodford County's not a bad football team.
And my little sister is at Lafayette, and so she's on the dance team, and she's like, "Why are we dancing for a team that's down 50-0?"
Well, you got to dance. I mean, that's their job. I mean,
yeah. But yeah, Dunbar's going to get walloped by Frederick Douglass.
Yeah, Frederick Douglass is for real. Yeah, they're for real.
I'm really trying to see them play. I don't know if they play any other mountain schools in their regular season, but I really hope to see them play.
Uh-oh.
Jumped up here.
Dropping stuff. Corey, do you got any questions for Courtney before I talk about UK?
No, not right now. I'm just kind of sitting back and listening to you all talk about a lot of these teams. And like y'all said, I think it's just everything's got a big question mark around it right now, whether or not it's actually going to get played. You know, we've talked a couple times about Breathitt County. You know, Breathitt County was a team coming in that I thought was going to be kind of a contender in the 2A, and I believe they still are. But every week they've had something that's come up, and they had to find a game. First week it was they played Dunbar. Second week they played North Laurel. Both of those are good football programs that are bigger schools. And then, you know, of course, this past week they're on quarantine, and now they may not get to play week 4 because of quarantine, and you're seeing it all over the state, you know. And it's hard to look at a team and say, well, Breathitt County's 0-3 now because of the COVID forfeit, but they're still a Class 2A contender for a state championship, you know. So, like y'all said, I think it's just a big question mark.
Well, struggling with Johnson Central in that regard. To put aside everything else that's happening with Johnson Central right now, obviously, if you're just looking at their record, they were our number one team. They were our number one team. How do you keep them up there when they aren't getting on the field?
Yeah. I'll be interested to see what you guys do with them Monday, because do you take them out? I mean,
I know where my vote lies, but I guess we'll see how that plays out tomorrow.
Well, you know, I do my top 10 too, and I'm gonna have a hard time this week because I may have to take them out of there. I mean, Corbin was so impressive Friday night. I just think maybe it's time they overleap them.
Seeing Corbin in person was ridiculous. Looks like a college team.
I do have a question. Is Cameron Combs hurt? Because Seth Mills started at quarterback, and I thought Combs was a quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think Combs was hurt. If anything, Seth was struggling on Friday night. He was cramping really bad, and then he rolled his ankle or something. I like Seth, and so we were talking about it, and he just said that he cramps really bad. But I haven't heard that Cameron's hurt. That would be news to me.
But he's not playing, and he was the main man last year at quarterback for the Red Hounds.
Yeah, I don't know if any of it also was since Mara was there, and I do know that they are trying to get more eyes on Seth. But I haven't heard that Cameron's hurt.
Well, he didn't play, so I like him. He's a good quarterback. I like to know why he's not playing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Kentucky. Now, I know that was the most impressive effort in probably 5 or 6 years, probably longer than that. Matt Jones said after the game he thought it was the best performance since he didn't say Tim Couch.
I was gonna say that would be a lot.
Yeah. What was the quarterback?
Andre Woodson.
Woodson.
That's
Andre
what I was
Woodson.
gonna say.
Thank you, Corey. He mentioned that Woodson era probably was the last time this Kentucky's had such a good quarterback with this much ability.
Mm-hmm. It just seems like he can't be stopped. And I've been very spoiled with my quarterbacks in my tenure, but he just has such a level head, and he's so consistent. Granted, he's only played one game, but speaking with him and speaking with Liam Cohen, it seems like they've really got their strategy down to a science. And so I am so excited to see him get SEC action. Granted, it's Missouri. But I'm really excited to get him getting some SEC action.
Night game under the lights, Missouri. Mm-hmm. You got to think this is going to be a crazy game. Because last year, there was a lot of controversy in this game. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what had happened. The Missouri said there was some talking about somebody and a bunch of, it almost had a big fight and everything. It was
was Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something happened. There was a controversial situation. And, you know, Matt Jones had talked about it on his college show after the game, talking about Missouri was going to remember that. And when they're coming to Commonwealth, Missouri only won by 10 yesterday, but it's not hard to judge. It's hard to judge week one when you're playing a big quality team. Because, you know, some of these teams are not that bad. But under the lights, 7:30, SEC Network, it's going to be chaotic. How do you think Kentucky will navigate this game? Because they got to be careful. Because
you have to be so careful. And I really like Eli Drinkwitz. I really like what he's doing with that Mizzou program, and I really like I like him as a person, really like him as a coach. And so I think that the Cats are going to be riled up. I mean, they were riled up on Saturday, and I was barely awake. They're going to be riled up, and they're going to be ready to take on this SEC opponent. And like you were saying with Mizzou, it's hard to gauge when you're playing ULM week one.
Yeah.
And so I think we're going to get to see a little bit more of the Cats, and I'm not worried about that. I'm ready to see what else they've got in their arsenal.
If you've never been to a night game at Commonwealth, then you're missing out on an experience.
Yeah.
They get jacked. I mean, it's awesome. It's one of the best experiences in SEC football.
And then Grove Street starts playing. Like, I've sat in the same seats at Commonwealth Stadium since I was a baby. And so obviously I care about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's a special atmosphere. And any SEC night game is a special atmosphere, but it's just if you like Kentucky football and you've never been to a night game, you have to.
Yeah. I was there when they beat South Carolina when they was number 1. And everybody rushed the field. When Kentucky beat South Carolina, they were number 1.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember when that was.
2016, 15?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I was there. I about got trampled over a bunch of students trying to get on the field to tear the goalpost down.
So many of my memories as a little kid are my dad handing me to a stranger over the rail to rush the field, to storm the field. Or like when I slept through all 7 overtimes of the 7 overtime game. Like, these night games in Commonwealth aren't just another game that you're going to flip through. They're always something's going to happen. Yeah.
If they can get the Missouri game the week after, they should win that one. 3-0 going to Florida at home. That would be big.
That would be big, especially with how that Florida team is looking. I mean,
and there's a chance
Florida Atlantic tried to make a run yesterday.
There's a chance of the Florida-Kentucky game, depending what the records are, could be a CBS game or it'll be on the SEC Network or on ESPN, because it's going to be a big game probably. Because Florida's going to be undefeated.
Monday? That'll come out on Monday.
Yeah, for the weekend, for the next week. Yeah. No, that won't come out for the week. It will come out the following Monday because they'll find out about who they play next week. Kentucky. Western Michigan. Is that who they play? So that will be probably SEC Network. That'll be a day game.
Yeah.
Then they'll determine what they want to do with the Florida game. Because I was going to say the Florida game is probably going to be a midday. I think it's going to be a CBS game, maybe.
God, if that could be the CBS 3:30 that week, I don't know what else is that week. On my podcast, my dad and I were actually talking about that October 9th week, and I was talking about when I think LSU Kentucky will be, and that is a stacked week. And so I'm wondering how Kentucky, Florida, Mizzou, Tennessee. I don't really see anything else besides Alabama, Ole Miss, and A&M State that could boot that.
Corey, do you got any questions for Courtney?
No, I've really enjoyed sitting in on this conversation and listening in. You know, you guys really know your football, and of course I've talked to you a lot, CJ, on all sports. But Courtney, I look forward to maybe being on the show again and seeing you at some of these games.
Absolutely.
Covering a lot of our kids here in Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah, I thought I knew what I was getting myself into. I did not. There is nothing like what I'm witnessing out here. Nothing like
here's your problem. Last year, you saw nobody at games, and that's why it wasn't no fun.
Yeah.
All the fun's back.
Yeah.
The kids feed off the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Corbin
and this
was
is
rowdy. And they said that attendance was at least 3,000.
No question about it. Yeah. Well, see, I told you your first appearance was going to be calm, collective. Nothing would get you rowdy. You're definitely going to be back. I think Camille's going to be with me next week.
All right.
Because I actually let the cat out of the bag. Tommy is going to be my co-host next week.
How exciting!
Yes, so Camille definitely wants to be a part of that.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I would love one night to get all three of you on the show.
Oh yeah,
you, Camille, and John, so we can get like we did one. I think we did that one night. We had Tommy and we had Mr. Poole and we had Mr. But it was a lot of fun, and look forward to it. But I would love to get you all three on here. But I think Camille's going to be on next week because I got Willie coming on, and they have whatever together last year and the years before, so it's going to be a lot of fun. But Courtney, it's been an honor to have you on here. You've done a tremendous job. You get A+, for your effort, and we will be seeing you very soon. And I will see you out there when you're shooting games.
Absolutely. Thank y'all so much.
No problem, Courtney. Have a good time. See you.
Bye.
Courtney Brewer, YMT sports reporter. Let me get a few side notes out of the way, Corey, and I'll let you give your final thoughts. I want to thank everybody that watched the show. I want to thank everybody that left comments. I want to thank everybody that called. I want to thank all my guests. It was Coach Hampton from Shelby Valley. Kyle talking about wrestling. We got that. Also, Coach Hilton did not make it. I will check on him and see if we can't get him on next week. Again, I want you to give your prayers for Coach Matney. He really needs them. So we'll keep you updated on that too. I want to remind everybody, go to my YouTube channel. Go subscribe on my channel. If I can get 1,000 subscribers, I can do a lot more live material over there. Plus, there might be an opportunity for me to sell some merchandise over there and make a little extra money. I could always use some extra money for the show to build it, make it better. I'll be back with you Wednesday night, September 8th. That's Wednesday with the CJ High School football report. We'll have week 4 rankings, picks, and much more. And then I'll be back with you next Sunday night, September 12th, with the 6th episode of the CJ Howard Show. my co-host, as I said earlier, is going to be Willie Hope. Willie's going to be with me, and I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll go from there. Corey, go ahead and give me your final thoughts, and we'll get out of here.
Well, CJ, I just want to tell you how appreciative I am for you allowing me to come on the show and be a co-host again. And, I'm certainly not the best at this.
Wrong. You are awesome. You're really
I
great.
really enjoy it, and I'm always one that likes to sit down and talk sports. And I learn something new every time I come on here from one of the guests, and I look forward to doing it again. Some with you this year throughout the year, and I really enjoyed it. And thanks everybody for listening in. Like CJ mentioned earlier, everybody that can send up a prayer for Coach Matney over Johnson Central. And thank you guys for having me on.
Well, Corey, do not leave me after we get off the air. I want to talk to you after we're done. Want to remind everybody, please come back Sunday night. We'll have another great episode of the CJ Harris Show. Also, join me Wednesday night when I give my picks for Week 4. As I always do, this is CJ Harris running third and heading for home. Good night, everybody. God bless. And prayers go out to Mr. Jim Matney. Good night, everybody.